It's been another amazing week. We collected over $700. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to do our weekly recap as well as our running total for the last 26 weeks. Before we jump over to our Excel file for a breakdown of the week as well as our running total for the last 26 weeks, I always want to show my trade history. Big on transparency, making sure everyone can see all my plays. So first, let's take a look at our option credits we collected. We sell puts and we sell calls. When you sell a call, you're agreeing to sell a stock for a predetermined price. You can see that BLM. We agreed to sell it for a price, and because we did, we collected $45 just for agreeing to sell it for a certain price, a predetermined price. APLD, we sold a put. When you sell a cash secured put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. You get paid a credit when you do so. And if you total these credits up from July 14th all the way up until today, you can see we got paid over $300 in option credits. And if we take a look at our dividends, they're pending right there. We have $116 in dividends to be paid to us. That's pending. $209 from ULTY and $54 from YMAX dividends. Great payout for ULTY. Great payout for MRNY. YieldMax, a little disappointed at that 10-cent yield. That's what ULTY did, and they're half the cost. So hopefully YMAX has a bounce back week next week. But like I said, a great week, over $700 collected. We're going to jump over to the Excel file to get a better look at it, as well as our running total. So let's jump over there. Okay, here we are on our Excel file. I know I showed you the trade history, but a little bit easier to see the breakdown here. So you see we collected $712 this week. We didn't open any new positions. If you look in the play column, you see rolled CC or rolled CSP or DIV. Rolled CC. Like I said at the beginning, covered call, when you sell a covered call, you're agreeing to sell a stock for a predetermined price. Anytime you open an option contract, you set an expiration date. Well, expiration date for these stocks was this week. And I determined that I didn't either want to buy them with the CSP, the cash secured put, which is when you agree to buy it, or sell them with the CC, the covered call. So what I did is I rolled them out another 30 days. I like to do a month roll. Some people like to go 60 days. Some people like to go 90. The farther out you roll, the bigger the credit you'll collect. But I rolled them out about 30 days. And because I did that, I got paid another credit. This is on top of selling to open. When you sell a put or sell a call, you get paid a credit. And as I roll these positions, I'm getting paid more credits. So over $300 collected in option credits this week. And then let's take a look at our dividends. That's the DIV. You can see ULTY, $209. YMAX, $54, and MRNY, $116. ULTY and YMAX are weekly payers. Great week for ULTY, below average, significantly below average for YMAX. MRNY, monthly payer, best payout in probably a long, long time for them. But if we look at our dividends tab, you'll see we have 2,025 shares at the time of payout, but I did actually purchase some more shares, and I'm up to 2,050 shares. My goal was originally 2,000 shares, but honestly, I don't mind dripping these dividend payments into it. So $380 in dividends, as you can see there. That's our total weekly dividend payout. I might just drip all 380 into that and get myself 50 shares or so. That's not bad. That is not bad. YMAX, I'm really hoping next week they're not at the 10-cent range. I don't like when they pay out the same as ULTY when they cost over twice as much. And then MRNY, once a month payer, amazing payout, 20-cent yield. I actually bought another 100 shares of that stock for the first time in months, just because, you know what, I had some cash, and I'm like, you know what, I haven't bought any of these in a long time, lower my cost average. It worked out. I'm up to 581 shares, and they had their best payout in quite a long time. So that's a pretty big win. If we can zoom out and scroll over, then scroll in here. Let's take a peek at, so YMAX, we have collected $2,138 from that. ULTY, $1,997. Two more dividend payouts, and it will pass WideMax in terms of yield. Just look at those last couple weeks of payments. 140, 161, 171, 192, 209. Not bad. And then MRNY, we've collected $669. So I can say every single dividend stock that I own in the Yield Max funds is up in dividend payouts. Now, ULTY is actually up even with just the share price, but YMAX and MRNY are not up share-wise, but if you count dividend distributions in there, payouts, then they are up. So that's awesome. If we look at our running total tab from January 20th to July 18th, 26 weeks since we've been showing our trade history. Now, like I said, I was trading at the beginning of January as well, but I wasn't showing my trade history, so that's the very reason that I started on the 20th when I started showing everything. So I wanted to hold myself accountable, start there. I wish I would have included those first couple weeks of January, because I'd be over $20,000 year to date, but right now we're at 19,842 of that. And in the top right, you'll see dividend payouts, $5,521. So that means roughly 14,000 of it is option selling credits. As I've said, this is an income generating account where our main focus is selling options. Now, the dividends are a nice little added bonus, but even these Yield Max funds with their great yields will be outpaced by selling options. And that's not financial advice. That's just my personal opinion. But 26 straight weeks, our goal is to get at least $600, and we have not been under $600 one time in the 26-week span. And what's truly amazing about this is over that 26 weeks, if you take that added together, it gives us $19,842. You divide that by 26 weeks, and you're getting around $790 per week. That's pretty dang good. That's some people's paycheck, some people's part-time job, whatever it is. We are getting this in a few minutes each week. And like I said, this week I didn't open any new option positions. I just rolled ones I had expiring. And those are the best type of weeks. And if we were to keep this up for an entire year, 52 times that 793.71, we would be at $41,272 collected for the year. That's a pretty dang good part-time job. And like I said, we're investing 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes a week, looking at our portfolio in terms of actual investment time. Because we know what positions we're already in. We're going to roll those, and we might add 1 or 2 different positions each week, and that's usually the extent of it. So all in all, extremely happy with our results year to date. We still have the back half of the year, but I have no doubt we are going to continue on this same trend of at least $600 per week and continue to grow the account. If you're someone that wants to learn how to sell options, I do have an educational course on Fiverr. I teach you how to sell options, and then you can generate your own passive income. I also have a Twitter. I will put my username in the description below. Drop me a follow. And then finally, if you would help me out, want to grow the channel, leave a like, a comment, subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.